It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 112. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is January 19th, 2025. A great day for a podcast about video games and more. And that's what I'm here to do. So I hope you're doing great out there in the world. Hope everything's going your way. Hope everything's coming up roses. Hope everything's fine and dandy and wonderful. And I hope you're having a great week out there in the world for real. And thank you for being here to listen to this podcast. But the first order of business is to ask you to follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show, this show you're listening to right now, available anywhere you can find a podcast. So find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Find multiple places, whatever your heart desires. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. I personally like to use Spotify for my podcast, but that is just my preference at the moment. I've used Apple Podcasts. I listen to them on YouTube sometimes, so whatever you want to do. Also, this is some news here for the Dep Lewis Show and the Dep Lewis Show world. Twitch.tv/Dep Lewis Show is a great place to follow. And now, I'm committing to a new stream schedule. I'm going to dip my toe in the pool of streaming, and I'm going to plan on streaming every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday nights around 7 p.m. Eastern to about 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later on those times, but I will notify the world when I start streaming and let you know. I'll put a notification out there, and I also might stream some more on some random days. I've been doing that the last few days, and it's been fun. So it's going to be a way for me to play some video games on the internet and hopefully complete some video games and interact with whoever wants to come through. So if you want to check me out, twitch.tv/DepLewisShow. I'm going to be playing some video games on there more consistently, so plan to see my face on the internet. If you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, patreon.com/DepLewisShow is available if you'd like to subscribe monthly. And also Venmo at DepLewisShow is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you would like to support this show. All right, so for the show that I've been talking about a lot, let's get into it. We have 3 sections as always. The first section, I'll tell you about what I've been playing personally, what video games I'm playing, what I'm into, and just my thoughts on my video game life. The mid section is not mid in quality. It's the middle section of the show, and that is the video game news. Everything you need to know going on around the video game world is what's going to be in the mid section. So like releases, rumors, speculation, sales, everything you need to know. So the mid section of the show is a great section of the show. And then third and final section, the Miscellaneous talk section, where I give you a break on video games and we can talk about anything I want to outside of the video game world. Usually get into the worldwide world of sports, and that will be the case today. So that's all the setup. Thank you for listening to all that stuff. And let's get into the actual show. So what have I been playing? So I started this stream schedule on Thursday, and I played Resident Evil 4. So I started this up on the PlayStation 5, a brand new file. I'm playing it on normal. I played this game previously. I think I played it on the assisted mode, and maybe 5 or 6 hours in. So I'm still not past content I haven't seen. I'm still not past content. Yeah, I'm still not to content I haven't seen. So still backtracking a little bit, but it's been fun. The map in this game is really good. I'm enjoying the crafting mechanics a lot this time. I don't know why. And the gunplay is good. Leon's a cool character. Playing this more so and being dialed in, it's reminding me more of Last of Us, which is a great comparison because that is my favorite video game of all time. Last of Us 2, the combat it just kind of clicked in my head when I was playing it the other day. This is very similar combat to The Last of Us, and obviously Resident Evil 4 was before Last of Us, so they were pulling, maybe having some inspiration here into The Last of Us, but really enjoyable and taking a little bit more of a stealthy approach, and these zombies really aren't playing around and having some fun with the gunplay in this game. It's extremely fun. And it's been a cool game, and I haven't been too scared yet. I'm a little bit scared playing it because that's just who I am. But I'm being tough. Playing it on stream was helping, definitely. So I think that's going to be one of the main games that I'm playing on stream in the next couple of days. So Resident Evil 4, check me playing some of that. And I played Friday night. I did some streaming on Friday night, and I played a throwback game, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I played this on the Nintendo Switch Online. Looks pretty good on there. It's easy you can save at any moment, which is nice. I get to play it on a modern controller, and it was running really great on the stream. So Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I don't know how much of this I'm going to play. This is kind of a white whale of a game to me, along with the franchise in general. I need to beat a Zelda game. But the music in this game is awesome. and just had a fun time with it. I played a few other random things throughout the week, but those were the main things I've been playing. And when I start doing this stream schedule, I'm going to be able to have tell you a little bit more about some games. I'll be dedicating some more time, so it's going to be great. So that's what I've been playing this week, and just my gaming plans in general. I've had the last 2 years. We've had the year of survival horror. We've had the year of the RPG. I don't know why I said it like that. The RPG, and this year, I really think I've been going back and forth on what to do as a theme, and I think we really are going to do the year of the backlog. Try to complete some games, and this will tie into the streaming very nicely. So it's going to be the year of the backlog on the Dep Lewis Show. Whatever I want to throw into the backlog is fair game. So it's going to be a whole year of focusing on games that have already been released. So the backlog. I'm going to play some new games still throughout the course of the year, but there aren't too many of them on the slate that I am immediately interested in. So it's a great year to play backlog games. And my current list of backlog things that I'm focusing on include the RPGs: Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And then for third-person action, we got The Witcher 3, we got Uncharted 4, we got Resident Evil 4. I wish, get ready for The Witcher 4. Nintendo games: Metroid Prime, Super Mario Sunshine, which I played some of that on stream as well, and that game, I'm making some good progress there. Pikmin and Luigi's Mansion is something I like to play too. So those are all franchises on Nintendo I'm looking to get more into. And then I would like to complete a Zelda game. That is an overall challenge in my life, to complete a Zelda game. I started playing some Ocarina. I have a file of Echoes of Wisdom going right now. I've thought about dipping back into that. So we will see. But if I can complete a Zelda game this year, I can say it's a successful year. So I need to really start focusing on that. And that's my plan. So that's what's going on with me. Playing some video games. Starting to get a little bit of a stream schedule together. So that is the things you need to know about me. So that's going to wrap up this first section of the show. Told you about my streaming plans. Told you about playing some Resident Evil 4. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and it is officially the year of the backlog on the Dep Lewis Show. So an overall theme for the year and a focus on my video gaming backlog. So you will get to go along that journey with me. So that's going to wrap up this first section. You're going to hear some music, and we're going to come back for the midsection, which is all the news and information that you need to know around the video game world. So come back after this lovely music. Welcome back to the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 112. This is where I tell you about what's going on around the video game world that you need to know. And there was an official announcement this week that is a very exciting thing. And that is something that has been long rumored, long speculated. A lot of leaks and information out there that have seemingly come true. And that is the Nintendo Switch 2 has been officially announced. So the naming convention is just adding a 2 to the end. So this is not typical for Nintendo. And I think is the right move, Nintendo Switch 2. So everything here is kind of what we expected, and I think that's sort of a good thing. It kind of comes down to the software to me, how that's going to be, because everything else is seeming like it's going to be great. So the Nintendo Switch 2 has been announced. We got a first look trailer on the 16th, last Thursday. The video is around 2 minutes and 22 seconds in length. It shows the first new look at Mario Kart. So new Mario Kart, Donkey Kong's looking different. People are talking about that. Yoshi has a burger restaurant, which people are all wanting to go to, so maybe that's going to be a thing. One of these Nintendo theme parks are going to open a Yoshi restaurant. They're showing 24 racers on the track, so that could be something new here. And I guess the console is going to be launching with this new Mario Kart. No clear details on this, but there were some shots shown of people racing around the kart, and it looks like it's going to be a great Mario Kart game. So very smart. It's one of their best-selling games of all time. I think it's it is the best-selling game of all time on Switch. I think it's like 64 million copies, I believe is the number. Could be higher, but I believe that is what it is. So Nintendo Switch 2 could be launched with a new Mario Kart, not confirmed, but shown off. The screen on this console is going to be slightly bigger. The Joy-Cons are going to be slightly bigger. They're going to be magnetic, so it's no longer going to have the rail system to slide in. And I guess they have hopefully fixed the Joy-Con drift problem here in this new version of the controller. I don't know if they're calling it a Joy-Con still. I don't know if they actually showed that or not, but who knows. But they're slightly bigger. Buttons are slightly bigger. There's an additional button. We still don't know what it does. All the speculation is it's around some type of social network or some type of like group connectivity something. Possibly rumored with that test they did a couple weeks ago or whatever. Something like that. I think that's kind of the main speculation out there. Some type of like friends or group or community kind of thing. But what else? The console has a slightly more curved design. And it looks generally kind of the same, but a little more modern, I guess. They're going with the blue and red color scheme still to start. So blue on the left, red on the right Joy-Con, or if it's called a Joy-Con. And the other news that was a little bit on the slide and things that was also rumored, the Joy-Cons can be used as a mouse. So either one can be laid on their side, has an optical sensor in there, and you can use it as a mouse in some games. So it's going to open up, possibly being able to use a mouse in some first-person shooters, or to play things like Civ, making more PC-friendly mouse and keyboard games accessible on the Switch. I mean, that's kind of a brilliant idea. I don't know how much I would use of that, but just kind of seems like a simple addition in theory to me, because it's just a small piece of the console, but it's just really, really smart, and it's a cool idea. So that is definitely something very interesting about this, and will be cool to see. I saw some people talking about, could this bring back some Wii games in a more fully formed fashion. I think that's kind of a cool thought too. So some pretty cool stuff here. It overall seems kind of like what we expected, but there is some not gimmicky stuff, but there's some uniqueness going on here, which is what Nintendo is very good at doing. So what else? And they confirm backwards compatibility, which is another amazing thing. So all your library is, I've been saying this word a lot this podcast, but it's seemingly safe. So it's going to play Nintendo Switch 2 games as well as Nintendo Switch games, physical and digital. And their quotes are, certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. So I think it was Metal Jesus, YouTuber I was watching, talk about this, and he said, if it's like 1 or 2% of games that don't work, that who really is going to be, or somebody will be upset, but it's really like an immaterial impact. But he was saying if it's up in like the 30% range, that's kind of a material impact, and it's a little bit more of muddy waters on knowing if your game. I think you don't want to really go down the confusing route of this subsection of games is not compatible, this one is. I think it's just more clear to, if they can have most of them be backwards compatible, then I hope so. I don't know if the games are automatically going to run better. I think that's something maybe the developers would have to patch in, but that's one kind of question I have. Are the games going to run any better out of the box? Are we going to have to pay for an upgrade? Is there any type of upgrade that's possible? What's going to kind of happen there? But I think it's nice enough to be able to play these games on the new console, because a lot of these games, in my opinion, and I think it's pretty true, that they look very, very great on this console. Minus some of the third-party stuff. A little bit of the first-party stuff runs a little bit laggy, but I think ultimately it's a little bit nitpicky. Nintendo has some great-looking video games, and they have a wide range of these available on the console. So this really, really good stuff in general. So the Nintendo Switch 2. So that's all we kind of know at this point. They've also announced that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct on April 2nd, 2025. So a couple months away. That's where we're going to get some information on some hardware, maybe some release dates. I think the price is being rumored out there. That'd be $399 US dollars, or $400 US dollars. It's kind of the rumor. I think that's kind of what I was speculating on, and that is something that I would be saving my money for, wanting to buy one of these Switches. So I think in April we'll get the announcement of when it's going to be released, and I guess that could be summer. I guess it could be, I'm going to say any time of the year, but I really don't know. But after April, I guess any time is fair game for the Nintendo Switch 2 release date. And I guess they'll maybe give us time when pre-orders are going to go up. So it's something that at this moment, I don't know. Just depending, because I want to see the software. If there's going to be some game that's exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2, like a new Mario. I was thinking that, if it's just a new Mario Kart, I don't know if that's enough reason to buy it at launch for myself, because I play Mario Kart from time to time, but just not very consistently. And it's something I would definitely get in the future, but it wouldn't be the first game that I would want to get. I don't think I would have any friends that would be buying this on launch and getting Mario Kart as well. So I would love to have one of these in any world on day one, but just really thinking how much of it I'm going to play. They have to show some other software probably for me. If there's a new Mario, I'm going to be chomping at the bit to get this console. So there's a few games out there like that. Maybe a new Splatoon, maybe a new Animal Crossing would be something that I'd want to immediately upgrade. So I think all kind of signs point to I want to get one of these at launch, but I do have a little bit of apprehension on wanting to get one, because I am still happy with my current Switch. So I think that's a good problem to have. So what else about the Switch 2? That's all the info we have. Probably have a couple months now of some leaks and some speculation. We might get some real information, because a lot of these things have been pretty spot on. So, whatever. It all seems pretty good to me. Nintendo Switch 2, the next time we're going to get some information from Nintendo, according to them, is April 2nd, 2025. So baseball season will just have started. The Braves will be back playing. we're getting some Nintendo Switch. Spring will spring in the United States, and we will get some Nintendo Switch 2 information. So that all sounds pretty good to me. So, hopefully that'll go great as I'm hoping. All right, so what else has happened this week? So that's pretty big news. Staying in the Nintendo realm, Splatoon 3 had a Frosty Fest or a Splat Fest last weekend. I want to let you know who won that just real quickly. The question there, the team that you could choose, what would make you happiest, money, experiences, or presents? And my speculation on this was money would take the championship or win, because I was saying money could buy you experiences or it could buy you presents, but that's a little bit of a cheat code. And I guess the community also found that to be a cheat code and did not want to cheat, so they picked Team Presents was the winner of the Frosty Fest. So congratulations to everyone who joined Team Presents and got out there and inked some people up and splatted some people and had a great time on one of the best video games of all time, Splatoon 3. So that was the news for Splatoon 3. Some other Nintendo news, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD has now been released. It released on January 16, 2025, the great King Tut's birthday. This released for Nintendo Switch. $59.99 US. It is game voucher eligible. If you'd like to purchase 2 Switch games digitally, you can spend $100, save $20, and you can pick 2 games from the game voucher eligible list. In this video game, you can help Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong recover their precious banana hoard from the villainous Tiki Tack Tribe, the Tiki Tack Tribe. This visually enhanced version of the Wii game, stomp enemies, blast through barrels, and ride rockets, minecarts, and even Rambi the Rhino, in 80 levels across 9 worlds, including additional levels from the Nintendo 3DS version. You can even join up with a buddy or 2-player local co-op. And this does have a Nintendo 3DS version that's around $14 US at the moment. I picked this up a couple weeks ago, and I've checked the price recently. It's still staying there around that same ballpark. So if you have a 3DS and want to play this that way, I think that's a perfectly fine way to play this game too. But now they have the version on the Switch, which is nice. So Nintendo, likes to re-release their games, give them some upgrades, but you don't have to buy them if you don't want to, and it's just a nice option out there in the world. So that's kind of been a little bit of my thoughts recently. If there's a game coming out that's getting re-released, if there's an old version that still runs okay on a console I own, I've been trying to pick that up, especially if it's inexpensive, because it kind of satisfies the craving a little bit. If you want to play the game, you can still play it just in a little bit of a different form. So that's kind of been that's one of my recent purchasing habits for video games, and I've been enjoying doing that. So but this game is out right now. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is out right now on the Switch. A re-release game, but it is Donkey Kong doing some platforming, and that is, super good. All right, what else is going on around the video game world? Xbox Developer Direct in the upcoming week. So that's going to be on January 23rd, 2025. So that is coming up. What day is that? Let me look on this calendar here. That's going to be Thursday. So they're going to feature games like Doom, The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And there's also rumors that there's going to be a mystery game from a well-established Japanese IP is also expected to make an appearance. My take, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but because I think it's already been announced, but maybe it's a Team Ninja Gaiden. I know they have the 2D one that's being developed right now that looks really, really awesome, that got announced sort of recently, but maybe it's a third-person action Ninja Gaiden, a new one. So that's kind of my take there, but we'll find out on Thursday. And I think one of the new things here, I'm starting to stream, and I think I'm going to do a talkover for this on Thursday. So I'll have to do it after the video's out. I'll record a video of myself watching this and talking about it and post it to YouTube and probably Patreon, I guess. So that's going to be my, I really enjoy watching those from other people, like Giant Bomb and MinMax, and there's a few other ones out there I'm trying to think. Sometimes like just Jeff Gerstmann will talk over them. So just trying to I guess put myself out there a little bit more, and it sounds like a fun thing to do. So, expand the Dep Lewis Show a little bit here in 2025. So I'm going to expect to do a talkover for this on Thursday and post it up on Thursday, just probably a little bit later after the show, and watch this and tell you what I think about it. So expect that coming on Thursday, the Xbox Developer Direct. All right, what else is going on? A couple more things just to tell you about from this week that's going on out there in the world, the video game world. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a video game. Something I've kind of learned about recently from watching the streamer Rachel K. She plays a lot of different kind of games from what I play generally, and I've learned some pretty cool stuff from watching her play. And this game definitely looks very cool. It should be on your radar. It's releasing for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. Developer is Warhorse Studios. It looks like it's going to cost $59.99 US, and it releases on February 4th, 2025. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a thrilling, story-driven action RPG with a rich open world set in 15th century medieval Europe. Experience the ultimate medieval adventure through the eyes of young Henry as you embark on a journey of epic proportions. And Henry sounds like he could be generic, but he's actually a pretty good character. I looked up, you can get a PS4 copy of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 right now if you want to try it out or just play that to satisfy the itch, like I was talking about earlier. It's around $16 for a complete in-box copy of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 for PS4, and it looks like you can get an Xbox One copy for maybe $14. So, one of these sites I've been using recently has been price charting, so go check that out. It shows you some good prices if you're trying to pick up some used games, of some comps and things like what you can expect the price to be out there in the world. So, just maybe a cool tactic if you are not wanting to spend the full price upon release day. So, but Kingdom Come Deliverance has been cool. Go watch a VOD of Rachel K playing this. It's definitely has some Skyrim vibes, open world Elder Scrolls type of things, doing some funny stuff out there in the world. Maybe a little bit of Dragon's Dogma kind of stuff. It has some kind of quirky stuff. The combat's a little bit finicky, but that's kind of, I guess, a little bit of the charm of this game. It kind of looks like some technical sword fighting, but it's kind of wonky. And so it's just kind of a different kind of thing. It's not like exact, precise combat. So that is a little bit of the style of this game. And it just seems kind of fun overall. Maybe a little bit of Fable in there in the mix of how it's going and just kind of what to think about it. So definitely an interesting franchise and something I've recently learned about. So I wanted to tell you about the upcoming release of KCD 2 on February 4th, 2025. All right, what else is coming out? There's a few more games coming out in the near future I want to remind you of. Well, one more for this show, and that is the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered. This release is on Valentine's Day, so if you don't have Valentine's Day plans, you can play some Tomb Raider if you'd like. This is coming out for PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Microsoft Windows, $29.99 US. Play the original 3 Tomb Raider adventures for the first time ever. Play the complete experience with all expansions and secret levels on modern platforms in this definitive collection. So Tomb Raider is something I've never played a Tomb Raider game for any substantial amount of time, but I think it's something I would like because I'm a fan of Uncharted. I'm a fan of some platforming, some shooting, shooting bow and arrows. So I think it's something I could definitely get into at some point. I've just never really tried one, but this is a pretty cool release. Go back to some classic Tomb Raider. The included game titles are Tomb Raider 1 plus Unfinished Business, Tomb Raider 2 plus Golden Mask, and Tomb Raider 3 plus The Lost Artifact. So it's giving you everything you can need for these video games. And in these games, the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, you can solve ancient mysteries, uncover treasures of the ancient world by solving puzzles and unraveling mysteries lost to the ravages of time. Globe-trotting adventure. Follow Lara Croft, iconic video game protagonist, around the world and face off against deadly foes and dangerous myths. It's lovingly restored is what they're saying. Experience the classics, boasting upgraded graphics with the option to switch to the original polygon look at any time. So a little bit akin to the Master Chief Collection, which is an extremely nice touch on a remaster of a game where you can flip back and forth from the past graphics to the current graphics, and sometimes the past graphics still look good, and they have a little more like up-resing to them or whatever. It's just you can kind of go back to a blast to the past, get some nostalgia, and then you can also go back to the modern if you really want to do some work in the video game. So Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered releases on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025, just an upcoming video game I wanted to remind you of. All right, another video game. The last bit of news I want to tell you about this week is a game. I don't know if this game just got announced, but I think it was just announced, and it's called The Blood of Dawnwalker. This is developer Rebel Wolves Studio. I think it's a typo, Rebel. Let me look that up while I'm on this show right now. What a dumb typo. Rebel Studio I'm not familiar with, obviously. Yeah, Rebel Wolves, the Rebellious Wolves Studio. And there's also have the director of Witcher 3 on the team here. So that's kind of one of the main things you were seeing across the internet was the blood of Dawnwalker is coming from the director of Witcher 3. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing, and it might be. So go check out the trailer they've shown off. In this game, you're in 14th century Europe. Bloody conflict sweeps the land, and the Black Death comes for the survivors. In the wake of the disasters claiming thousands of lives, the decimated human population struggles for survival. It's a moment of weakness, and that's all they needed. Vampires seize their opportunity. They talk out of the shadows and claim what they've been denied for centuries: freedom and power that comes with it. Other creatures of the night follow their lead. Legends turn into reality, and history as we know it will never be the same. So this game definitely has a little bit of a spooky element to it. The vampires are a little bit scary. not generally a vampire fan unless it's Vampire Survivors, or I guess Castlevania. So, maybe I am becoming more of a vampire fan as I age. Well, that's something I've been into, because I really have been into Castlevania games a whole lot. So, the Blood of Dawnwalker is coming. No release date on this, but I guess this was just announced, to a lot of hype, because people are excited to see what the director of Witcher 3 is going to do at a new studio. So that's all the news I have for you this week. That's everything going on. It was a pretty great news week with the announcement of the Switch 2 officially announced. More information on the Switch 2 coming from Nintendo April 2nd, 2025. Splatoon 3 had a Splatfest and is still a great video game. Team Presence was the winner of the recent Frosty Fest. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is now available on Switch. Xbox Developer Direct is coming up in the upcoming week on Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. Expect a talkover from me for the first time, doing a talkover of a showcase of video games. Pretty excited to do so. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming out on February 4th, 2025. Just a reminder there. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered is coming out on February 14th, 2025. Just a reminder there. And then we talked about the Blood of Dawnwalker announcement. So that's all the news I have for you this week. I'll be back next week, with all the news you need to know. So you never want to miss the Dep Lewis Show, because then you'll be out of the loop on what is going on around the video game world, and who would want to, be out of that loop. You'd have to be a crazy person. So, definitely come back to the show next week and listen to this section and all the sections as always. Just a small ask. All right, so that's going to wrap up this section. We're going to come back for the Miscellaneous Talk section and talk about anything I want to outside the video game world. And as I like to do, we're going to get into the worldwide world of sports and tell you about what's going on with my favorite teams. And there's not really a whole lot going on, so it's going to be short and sweet, but you don't want to miss it. So come back after this music. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 112, the Miscellaneous Talk section, where I can talk about anything I want to outside the video game world. So I want to tell you about what's going on with all my favorite teams across the worldwide world of sports. And my first team, so most of my teams right now, it's kind of the drought right now for me on the sports front. The Carolina Panthers are in the off season, just waiting on 2025, waiting to purchase a Bryce Young jersey before next season is my plan. So I can troll all my friends wearing my Bryce Young jersey and just being really excited about that. Now, the Panthers get the 8th overall pick in the 2025 draft. And they need to extend J.C. Horn. I'm going to put that on the list here to say each week until that happens. J.C. Horn extension, because I like to do that. It usually doesn't come to fruition. The players that I want to get extended from my favorite teams, I usually talk about in this podcast for many weeks, sometimes for over a year. And then the exact opposite happens. But it's nice to have somebody back on the list now to go out here and vouch for and stump for each week. J.C. Horn needs to get the extendo. He's coming up in his 5th year. We don't want to have to go down the franchise tag route with him. He said he's said in the media that he would like to stay, that he's interested in staying here. He likes the progress that the franchise is making, and pay him right now before everyone kind of knows about him. He just made the Pro Bowl. He's still a little bit under the radar as far as the whole league goes. Pay him, and he can be one of those stalwarts on the Carolina Panthers defense that really needs some more dogs on the team, and he's a great one to have. So the defense should be looking to add some players, and they should be looking to keep the very few that they have that are amazing players. Have Derek Brown back healthy, and some other good pieces going on around there. Maybe sign Mike Jackson, but the J.C. Horn extension needs to happen. The Panthers need to continue the good momentum they have, and this would be a huge one. So that's my plea to you, David Tepper. Pay J.C. Horn right now. Get the deal done. Go pay him. It's an amazing thing that the progress is going great. And Bryce Young, I'm happy to have you as the Carolina Panthers quarterback. I'm excited for next season, and maybe a little bit too excited, but it's all in good fun. So go Panthers. All right, so off-season for Panthers. Each week you're just going to hear me talk about the Horn extension and just any updates that happens over the course of the off-season. As far as basketball goes, I haven't been watching too much basketball recently, but basketball really is the only sport that I have available right now. The Charlotte Hornets have actually, done some winning, which is nice. Last Sunday at Phoenix, the Hornets lost that one, 113-120. But Wednesday at Utah, the Hornets won 117-112. Friday at Chicago, the Hornets won 125-123. The Battle of the Ball Brothers. And then next week, the Hornets have Dallas tomorrow at noon on MLK Day, so that's pretty exciting. And the tickets for that were looking pretty sold out, so that's good to see. Then they also have Memphis, Portland, and New Orleans to finish out the week for the Hornets. So Brandon Miller had an injury, so that's a bad thing. I think it's kind of a month-long injury or even more. So not the best news there for Brandon Miller, but the Hornets are really having a down season. They're kind of just growing as a squad, but it's just not great to see. Miller in his second season going to be out for a substantial amount of time, it seems. I don't know if I got the official report on that, but there was definitely some reason to be concerned there, I believe. So I'll update that. I'll update everyone next week on what's going on with the team there, and Brandon Miller in particular. And I hope he can get back healthy because he's an extremely fun player to watch and an exciting young guy for the Charlotte Hornets. All right, so the Atlanta Hawks, they've been doing some winning. Last week on Tuesday versus Phoenix, a lot of Phoenix matchups here between the Hornets and the Hawks. The Hawks beat Phoenix on Tuesday, 122 to 117. Wednesday at Chicago, the Hawks won 110 to 94. On Saturday at Boston, the Hawks won in overtime, 119 to 115. So an outstanding week for the Hawks. And next week, the Hawks have the Knicks, Detroit, and Toronto times 2. So 2 games versus the Raptors to end the week. All right, so that's all that's going on with my NBA teams out there. I'm trying to think of anything else going on. Jimmy Butler stuff. He might possibly get traded, might possibly stick around. He's back playing. Watching Wembanyama out there balling. The Warrior stuff. Are they going to make any trades or do anything? I don't know. But the NBA, I don't know. It's the only sport I have right now. I'm a little bit sad about it, missing the football. There's been some NFL playoffs been going on, which is nice. The Chiefs won. The Lions actually lost last night. Today we have the Eagles and Chargers. And then the Ravens and Bills, which is going to be exciting. The Ravens are favored by 1.5. I would love the Chiefs or Ravens to win based on bets. Please gamble responsibly out there. But those are my 2 hopes out there in the betting world. And hopefully have some fun stuff happening. The Commanders won. That's pretty exciting for Commanders fans. And Jaden Daniels is an outstanding rookie. He's having an amazing season. They're basically playing from a place of they've already kind of won this season like that, and that's pretty outstanding and amazing. And they're still going, and they could be in the Super Bowl. There's no way that they're a guaranteed loss against the Eagles or the Rams. I think either one of those teams can get got, and the Commanders are seriously rolling right now. So pretty cool to see over there in the NFL world. And then the last bit of news, last sport to talk about: Atlanta Braves, my favorite baseball team that I am longing for the season to return March 27th at the Padres. Can't wait. It is the offseason. The only move the Braves have made right now is they added a catcher, someone I'm not familiar with, Kurt Casale, to a minor league deal. He's an 11-year MLB vet. He debuted in 2014. He's 36 years old. He's been with a few teams, and most recently he played 41 games last year with the Giants. So with the departure of Travis d'Arnaud, it's not bad to have a reliable backup in some form or fashion to back up Sean Murphy, who's hopefully going to be healthy all season and playing outstanding ball and playing great behind the plate. So the Braves, I was just thinking, they haven't made any additions really in the offseason, really just small fringe moves, kind of hoping the roster just gets back healthy and can contend. Right now, the Braves are 3rd in World Series odds, which is nice to see. So Vegas has some faith in them. I have some faith in them, but I kind of was hoping for a splash move of some kind, but I really need to start expecting 0 splash moves from the Braves. But it's also other teams have been making a lot of splash moves, and they keep on making them, just like the Dodgers. They have now signed, Japanese pitcher Roki Sasaki has chosen to sign with the Dodgers. So he was basically a free agent, and I don't know if the terms of his deal have been disclosed or determined yet, but he has chosen to play with the Dodgers, and they are getting a new, up-and-coming, outstanding young pitcher from Japan to pair on the squad with all the other great people they have on their squad and that they have signed this year, and just coming off winning the World Series. So the Dodgers are a wagon. They're a workhorse. They're a beast. They're a monster. They're a beast. They're a dog. They are formidable in every form and fashion, and they're dangerous out there in the National League. But baseball, I'm really missing baseball. Only a couple months away. It's actually been pretty nice recently getting, we're past the middle of January, getting that baseball fever. I think spring training starts on the 22nd of February. So that is really just a month and a couple of days away. And then life will be in maximum good life mode when baseball is going on. Have 62 wonderful games to watch and cheer on the Atlanta Braves all season. So that's all the sports updates I have for you for this show. We talked about all my favorite teams: the Panthers, the Hornets, the Hawks, the Braves. We talked about some overall NFL stuff, and we talked about some overall Major League Baseball stuff. So, go sports. And I'll be back next week to talk about some more sports in this section, as always. So that's going to wrap up the Miscellaneous Talk section. That's going to wrap up the entire show, the entire Dep Lewis Show, episode 112. I want to reiterate some promotional talk from the beginning. So please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast. Find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. Twitch.tv/Dep Lewis Show is a great place to follow. My new streaming schedule is Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. to around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come check those out. I'm really going to start that up next week, and I am excited to do so. And if you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show is available if you'd like to subscribe monthly. Also, Venmo @Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you would like to support the show. Just thank you for listening. Thank you for being a listener. I hope you will watch my Xbox Developer Direct talkover on Thursday. I hope you come back next week for another episode of Dep Lewis Show. I hope you listen to some past episodes. I hope you tell a friend about it. But then I also just hope you have a good week out there in the world. I hope something good happens to you. I hope you hit the lottery. I hope you get a raise. I hope you find $100 on the ground. I hope you get to eat something good. I hope you get to have some time off work. If you have Martin Luther King Day off, I hope you have a great day off. And what else? I don't know. Just hope you have a great week out there in the world, if possible. And I hope, if possible, you come back and listen to another episode of Dep Lewis Show next week, because that's where I'll be. So I will see you next time. Have a great week out there. And, thank you for listening to Dep Lewis Show.